Hi, what's up everybody? How you guys doing out there today? Today I wanted to take a couple of minutes to go over with you a little how-to basically on how to pre-qualify your leads, your seller's leads over the telephone. When dealing with seller's leads, we want to make sure that we're working with the right clients. So we need to understand exactly what their motivations are so we can figure out if we can actually help them. So it's important to understand exactly what the client's intentions are with the property. We want to make sure how motivated are they? Do they want to sell? Do they want to stay in a house? Have they tried to sell before? These sorts of things are very important, so you want to find that out right away. And one of the best ways to do that is to make sure that you're taking down notes. When you get that lead on the phone and they're talking to you, you want to make sure you're jotting down information. One of the best practices for us is to always have a lead sheet or a questionnaire in front of you to make sure that you're asking those right questions. And if you don't have that questionnaire or that lead sheet, you want to make sure that you at least have a notepad and that you have some sort of a process or a questionnaire that you can put together in front of you so you can know exactly what's going on with the property, the address, phone number, email, do they own the property free and clear, is it vacant, what condition is the property in, that sort of thing. So you always want to have something to write. With us in our office, we always have a lead sheet. And so every time that somebody calls in or we're calling somebody, we want to make sure that we have at least that questionnaire in front of us or that lead sheet so we can take down important information, because we're going to need that at the end of the conversation when we go back and reflect on the call. When the client calls in or we're talking to them, we want to ask them, hi, I understand you might be interested in selling the property. What is it that maybe I can help you with? Or what kind of information can I provide you with that maybe you don't have or you would like to have that would pretty much help you understand where it is in the sales process that you are, or we can identify what the property value is. One of the things is you need to be able to identify whether you can help this client or not. One of the most important things is finding out if you're actually talking to somebody who's highly motivated and highly, basically they have a problem. So you need to find out, can you help them with their problem? And if so, what is the solution to their problem? So ask them the right questions. You want to be able to start to paint a picture as to what their intentions are with the house. Have they tried to do this before? Make sure you're asking all of the questions, because the person that's asking questions is the person that's in control. So you always want to be in control of that, right? As soon as you get the property information, another thing that you want to do is you want to jump on your computer. You want to pull up the property details, either it be Zillow, Property Radar, Realty Track, Trulia, whatever website you decide to use, do that. If you can, and if you're on your phone, jot down the information, get the name, phone number, property address, and then call them back when you actually have a few minutes to pull up the information, because the information that you're finding on the internet is going to be very critical so that you can ask your questions, verify the information on the computer, and then it will allow for a conversation to have a much better flow than if you're just all over the place and you don't have a certain format that you're following. So it's very important that you get the information on the internet, on the phone, and also on the lead sheet. Now, another thing that you want to do is you want to verify all of the information that you're getting on the computer. So make sure you do that. And then also too, you want to find out what condition is the property in. Have they tried to sell this before? Is the property vacant? Is it occupied? Are there tenants in there? Have they done any repairs to the property? You want to ask them a little bit, not too much. So you don't want to shoot off all your bullets on the phone call, on the phone conversation. You want to make sure that you save some of those questions and you basically are setting yourself up to an interview. That's what you want, or not an interview, but an appointment. So that's what you're trying to do, is when you get that lead and you're pre-qualifying them, you're really not trying to sell the phone or them selling their house with you or using you to sell their property. You want to make sure that you're trying to get that appointment with them so that then you can turn around and help them when you're live in person. We don't sell on the phone. All we're trying to do is get that appointment. So that's very important. Now, another thing is that you want to position yourself as a person who can help them with their interest or with their problem or whatever their motivator is. You need to be the person that can provide that solution to whatever their motivation is, whether they're in foreclosure, they're moving out of state, they went through a bankruptcy, they went through a divorce, whatever the case may be. You have to be the person that is experienced in that field so that you can better assist them. So that's very important. Make sure that they know that you're a real problem solver that can help them get the job done, right? It's important. Once you get all the appointments, start to prepare yourself to get that appointment. Like I said earlier, it's very important to get the appointment. You don't want to sell on the phone. You want to make sure that you sell in person. So one of the biggest things for my guys is I tell them, don't shoot off all your bullets on the phone. You don't want to do that. You want to do that when they're in front of you, because at the end of the conversation, at the end of your presentation, you're going to ask for the close. And the way to do that is by getting the paperwork signed. You do it on the phone, you sell everything on the phone. Well, that sounds great, but they're still not in front of you to sign anything. So, and you know what happens when you docu-sign documents? They never come back for some reason. You know, it's funny the way it goes, but they say, yeah, I'm ready to go. They send the documents, they don't come back. So it's very important, get the appointment, do everything in person that you can. On the phone, you're just pre-qualifying them, you're answering their questions, and what you're really trying to do is you're trying to get that appointment. So that's very important. Another thing that it's very important is you want to find out, have they tried to do this before? Have they tried to sell the house before? Who they've been talking to? Have they had the property listed for sale? Is the property listed for sale now? If so, you want to find out. And you want to jump on the internet. You want to find out, let me go on the MLS, let me check Zillow, let me check Trulia, let me find out what's really going on with this property. Because as they're giving you information, you want to start looking this information up, you want to start verifying it, and more importantly, you want to start preparing yourself to gather all this info, because it will help through the whole pre-qualification process. So again, pre-qualifying your sellers, you want to make sure that you can help them with whatever their motivations are. You want to make sure that you're the right person for what they need. Now, if you can't help them for one reason or another, don't waste your time with these people, because at the end of the day, they're not going to get the best service from you if you don't specialize in what they need. So it's important that you take the time, ask these questions, pre-qualify your leads, make sure that you understand what their motivation is. If you can fix them with, if you can help them fix their problem and then you have a real solution to their issues, then obviously you want to be the guy, right? But if not, you don't want to be wasting your time meeting with the wrong people, because at the end of the day, that's not going to work for them. It's not going to work for you, and you don't just want to have complete waste of time. So it's very important to take the information down, write it down, use your lead script, answer all the questions, make sure that you can actually help them. And then once you've identified that this is a good lead that you can work with, then absolutely, we're going to start to go for that close. Hey, Mr. Homeowner, now that we've identified that obviously I can help you with this particular problem that you're having or with your interest, how soon can we schedule an appointment so we can sit down for 15 or 20 minutes, so we can sit down, I can answer all the questions you might have, and is the missus going to be with you, or is your husband going to be with you? Because at that point, we definitely want to have both of you guys here in person, so that once we answer all the questions, then we can start going through what the next step would be.